hello.
Oh, Monica, I just brought that in because it was cold. Come
All
in,
right.
Mum.
Yeah,
How are
yeah.
you? Nice to
I'm
see you.
good.
Oh, how are you?
I'm
Good?
good. I'm good.
All
yeah.
right.
How are you? You look so
do you-
beautiful today.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
that's all right. No, I tried to get dressed up. Oh, but, oh, that's all right.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So what do you want to do, love? Where do you want me to sit?
Just weirdo.
Yeah, no, you're of another time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a look.
Yeah.
But I've got to remember. So is that what you expected to hear, or where's Monica's note? Well, Instagram makes boring people popular.
Oh, what do you mean by boring people?
Well, just that, people
Yeah.
that are really not thinking that they've got anything in their lives, and all of a sudden they get like thousands of people following them, and they've got the confidence, and they think that they're kind of a star.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing, but if they only realise that it's just fantasy.
Exactly.
It's all it is.
Yeah, that makes them
Yeah.
to feel empty more.
Yeah, well,
out
see,
there.
I'm old enough to realise that you can go to Disneyland to have fantasy,
Yeah.
or you can go to Instagram.
Mm.
And really, what is wrong with Instagram? You think about it. Like, we've just recently, a couple of very prominent people, I won't mention their names because I don't go on the dead people, but they've committed suicide. I don't know if they were on Instagram or if they reached out to the Instagram community for help, but you would get more help quickly there than you would on the Instagram, than you would maybe waiting to see a GP or a doctor or talk to someone with authority.
Hmm.
So it's interesting. I like it.
Yeah, do you want to show me your Instagram?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course I know. Oh gosh, here we go. So Clara Fox, there we press the little eye and up comes all of that, and then we press that. Look at that, 433 followers.
Wow.
And that's a lot, because that's been earned the hard way. Like, I'm not buying them or anything. And then if you scroll down, I just take little pictures. But I've got 2 stars on my Instagram. I've got, this is New York Girl.
Yeah.
She actually comes from New York.
Mm.
And she is competing. Do you want to see Daphne? This is Daphne in the other room.
Right.
And they are both having a war at the moment.
Mm.
Because I gave Daphne all the hats
Right.
and she became upset. Now, that's what I mean about Instagram being a fantasy, because I can create what I've got in my shop. I can make a story from it. So storytelling is what you see around you, isn't it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got Daphne in there. She's born in 1920s. And you've got New York Girl, made in the 1990s in New York.
Hmm.
And quite expensive, by the way.
Right.
A gift from a friend. But it's interesting because through Instagram you can bring them to life.
Hmm. That makes sense.
It's not going to make you any money, but
Yeah.
you don't do it for that. You never do what you love for money.
Hmm. Do you
And you
believe
don't
that?
do it for 5 minutes of fame either.
Yeah.
Anyway, God, I rave on.
Yeah.
This is Daphne. Look at her. Look at her.
Right.
I mean, she's had her boyfriends, or she could have had girlfriends. She's been hit in the eye. She's cracked. And she's got that real look on her. I've got to keep them apart. So you've got to remember I'm here on my own most days.
Yeah.
So I have to create my world. And that's what children do. And we're all children, really.
Yeah, I believe.
We are.
Yeah.
So there you go, Daphne. Monica has heard yours.
Yeah, but you know, the North Korean president used to grab that nuclear bomb for a long time. He will not gonna give up that bomb into just a few months.
No, but you've got to understand that it's going to take, technically, it's going to take a couple of years to dismantle.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, but if the process is started,
yeah,
because it would have to be done with care
yeah,
and logistics.
yeah,
So from what I heard on Radio National this morning, they said that they're looking at probably a 2-year plan to dismantle. Now, that's not a lot of time, because if a factory closes down, like say a steel factory closes down, it would take quite a number of years to get. But in your lifetime, you will see unification. He's only a young man. He's got a young wife. He's got a young family.
yeah.
But
I don't
still, it
know.
doesn't wash over the human suffering of people. And I'm not whitewashing the fact that there are people in jails for their beliefs and all of that. But then again, when I look at what our Indigenous people have happened to them here in Australia, there's no difference. So deaths in custody, 300 recommendations back well over 2 decades, and they've only instigated 30 of them, and young black people are still dying in custody. So what's the difference? You can be incarcerated in the Northern Territory if you're black and found to be leaving a pub drunk. You're locked up and thrown in a divvy van. That's a human rights violation. Wouldn't you think that they'd ring the family or the parents? Or don't you think that there are people responsible for not letting that person get so drunk? But they're treated like criminals. They're thrown into cells where they vomit, and half the time they choke and they die on it. That's the Northern Territory Police. How is that different from what they're doing to the Koreans are doing to their own people? Sorry, but everybody has cruelty in their countries.
Yeah, that's
Everybody.
true. Yeah.
Everybody. You know, Burma. I cry when I think about what's happening in Burma. You know?
Are you interested in history or?
Well, I don't know if I'm interested in history, but I guess when you get older, you have a look at how you can look back over
whole
decades
pictures
and you can see changes. Like, I remember in 1969 when they landed on the moon.
Yeah.
But if I think back to then, like, that's like retro, that's so long ago. How did they do it? You know, when you look at the technology and what we have today.
Yeah.
So did that really happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do like history. Yeah.